안녕하세요. 제로문 조덴. 한국어로 모릅니다. 정말 번역을 사용하고 싶다면요. 부담 없이 물어보세요. 감사합니다. And for those who are not Korean speakers and are mainly speak English, as I take this code off the screen, all I was really saying is that if well, in this case, the creator, but really anyone who has any custom content that I've made perm content for, I've not uploaded any files like that, but feel free to ask. You don't need my permission anyway, but if you want to ask, feel free. If you want to just take something, then feel right ahead to just take something that I've shown. Yeah, and that's all I really have to say on that. I can talk more because there are other things to mention, and I'm probably going to forget a few things I wanted to mention, but we are going to display this character anyway, so as we get into this, for timestamp's sake, I think it was Herald, by the way. No, it's Cthulhu. I'm just going to say Cthulhu. As we get into this Cthulhu 7th Curse custom character run, oh my buddy. Yeah, this character is the perm version that I've translated. There might be a few things wrong because I, again, couldn't go through every playtest. But for example, I even messed up a recording, so I had to do that intro again because I'm not a native Korean speaker. But I did even try to shorten the name, and even that's not enough. So we'll do our best to showcase everything that I can. Although for the most part, I know it is working. I've done a few mysteries as this character, so everything should be working. Second mystery, Takushi-san, knowledge, strength, light, and maybe a second encounter check. But there are things I should also mention. I am a little, it's springtime, so my nose is running and all that stuff. But, yeah, there are parts of this character that are basically still work in progress if the temp stat image here wasn't already going to show you. So even if this English version of this character were to be released somewhere, either by me or by the creator, I would want the creator to do it because I ethically don't feel it's in my place to release something like that. But yeah, if anyone wants files, then, well, and if you're the creator of a character who I made events for, if past review episodes didn't already show, then feel free to ask. But otherwise, I will get into this run here, and at least we'll have this video to show off. But as we get metamorphosis footage, Sailors, Taxi, and Nightclub. I think no, Metamorphosis as well, Taxi, and I don't think Nightclub has anything dangerous. I might be proven wrong, but let's find out. So, the first thing I'll mention is that the code earlier that you saw was all about basically looking at the requirements for different perm items that belong to this character's mechanic. What do I mean by that? So first and foremost, preparing here as this character, and again, this is placeholder, so this is not broken. But yeah, preparing here allows you to get this item called a clam knife. I called it a clam knife. Again, if my translation's off, feel free to correct me at any moment. I couldn't fit everything on screen, but that's why the creator also added this inspect. In fact, this inspect also had other stuff to say, but again, I took kind of some liberties with my own translation because English is a language in which you can't fit everything, as opposed to nicer Asian languages in that regard, where you can fit everything in a smaller space. So, not saying one language is better than the other, but it is a limitation. I think that's more objective fact than subjective opinion. So, yeah, and I think those are just, I mean, subjective implies opinion, but you get the point. It's, you get less space to work with English lettering or Western lettering, as opposed to if you're working with Chinese, Japanese, or Korean, you get a lot more space, and that's nice, so that you can get more information in a smaller, smaller space. So, but yeah, again, aside from that is, if I make any weird translation errors, then again, I'm not a native Korean speaker, so I do my best with basically using online resources to help me do my best at getting things in English. That's all I can really say for myself. Also, I just realized that I didn't enter the competition, did I? So this character's specific mechanic is that, so in the non-perm version of this character, as we actually get into this, and I should have actually gone looking for ingredients. Actually, we're on 7th Curse. I think we'll be fine. Yeah, we're on 7th Curse, right? Yeah, so we can buy all of our ingredients, but that's not the best. This character has basically cooking competitions that she participates in. I think the creator, and you saw there, I didn't translate that part. I should have. I didn't even translate the event name, but everything works just fine because, again, I did a soft translation for sure, which means most, if not everything, should be functional. You just can't read everything that you see. That being said, I should not have gone hunting here, but I guess we're going to find out. So, but yes, later on, later iterations of this character, and again, there's no artwork because that's a lot of work to do, but if I were to finish off what I was going to say in 15 seconds, yeah, you enter competitions and you get basically goodies for the whole run. And you can do a competition every mystery, pretty much, if I am reading that correctly. If that's a bug somehow, then I guess someone will let me know. But otherwise, the other side of this character is that this clam knife, if you didn't notice, does an extra 3 damage on a strong attack. It's not telegraphed through in-game messages, but it's not things are not always... you don't always need to put message logs, otherwise you'd be flooding the message log. So if you watch here, I'll do a prep strong here. So this is a very interesting design for the weapon, gameplay-wise, because if you do a strong attack, you get 3 damage on a 2 damage weapon. However, because the strong attack does double damage, you at minimum get 6 damage per turn, and if you add in a kick, which this character can normally do, you actually get 8 damage, which is kind of your bare minimum. Now, you might say, Jordan, well, isn't that kind of bad for bosses later on that have higher HP or just deal a lot of damage, so you need to get out quickly? No, because the positive of this character is that after you defeat an enemy, you get ingredients if you use this perm-specific weapon, and you get specific ingredients according to the type of enemy that you defeat. And that will help you with these cooking competitions, and therefore give you usually experience, but also funds and also other goodies as well, if you manage to go through her events and you start understanding what you can and cannot do with this character. Again, this character I think is pretty much near feature complete, if not feature complete, with her mechanics. But obviously, again, one last time, the artwork is not all done, because if I were to show you her other prepare event when we get into our next mystery, there is a lot of items to basically make images for. Shrug, that's the end of the sentence. So, I don't know if this is guaranteed. Is this guaranteed? Oh, my buddy. So this is 3.5, so this is 7 damage, right? So we'd actually have to go for something like a double attack, which is not great on a 14 power. I think the accuracy of this, yeah, is relatively low. But we might as well gamble, right? Yeah, we might as well gamble. Actually, it's not enough to gamble, I realize. So maybe we do this instead. Yeah, I think we do this instead. So this is not likely, but if I hit both of these, then I get out guaranteed. As I said. So you go from 8 damage to 10 damage again. That's the kind of downside to a 2 damage based weapon. But if I were to go on the opposite side of that, not a devil's advocate exactly, but if I were, and I'm just going to check these items just in case they're bugged. They should all pretty much work as intended. But to get back to what I was talking about, if you change the clam knife to a 3 damage weapon, things can become pretty unbalanced very quickly, in my opinion. So what I mean by that is that not only will this knife also have 3 damage on a strong attack with 3 base damage, which would be about 8 guaranteed, plus a kick. And so 10 damage doesn't sound like a lot, but then you also have to remember that you get items that you don't have to use in the competition for this character's mechanics, by the way. As you can see, this fresh meat, when used, grants you 1 stamina or 1 reason. So you get healing items usually. There are other items that do other things, like the piece of heart that you just saw. And they deal 8 damage to a vampire enemy. And some items like that. Obviously, not everyone uses the mummified heart, although it is pretty good, in my opinion. It's not the best, though. I'll say that much. But if we can actually survive this, that would be nice to survive this. Yeah, you at least get healing out of it, and if you decide to go through the competition, you get a boatload of experience. I mean, it's not the most experience, but it is still experience, and you get to do other things like fight an enemy or get more experience for free, pretty much every time you trigger a competition with this character. So I know I'm probably not showcasing the character in the best light with how I'm basically talking and commentating stream of consciousness. And then, oh yes, this character has a cookbook, so you get food items on top of it, which can include pancakes. In fact, if I do her a competition event and I get pancakes, because that can happen, yeah. If you didn't know, and I don't run into pancakes this video, pancakes heal stamina and decrease doom by 2. I'm shrugging in real life. That's the long and short of it. So, again, when you use this cooking schedule, you can at least check. If you don't make it to the competition, I think you lose experience, last I remember. Again, there are about 30 to 40 plus Ito files to translate to at least get working. Yeah, period. End of sentence. That being said, I should actually sell these. Oh, and let's actually prepare for stuff. So, what I mean by this character's ingredients and the mechanics is that you can actually do her prepare action in PERM. Again, if you don't know what PERM is, really 10-second quick little overview. PERM allows you to do a lot of things in Roll of Horror custom content wise. But for this character specifically, if you go prepare and go to the market, you can basically grab 3 types of ingredients for this character. And her competition events usually involve grilling, making mashed potatoes, but mashed dishes and hot pot. And you can pick which ones you want. And they grant you different items based on whether, well, you succeed that luck check or not. That being said, that doesn't mean that the items are useless, because like I said earlier, when you use a lot of them, they tend to heal. That fresh asparagus heals 1 stamina, 1 reason. Beef stock heals 1 stamina, 1 reason. However, because they're different and the way that they're coded and programmed in, they do serve their purpose for specific competition events. Although I am dying here, so let's actually tree for stamina for a moment. Nice brain damage, bad ghost encounters, and we wait a little longer. So yeah. But usually by the end of the mystery, you'll get a competition. That's kind of the status effect. But a lot of how the creator. Oh, can I even fight this? By the way, I might have to Thotu Flame out of here. Yeah, I think I have to Thotu Flame out of here. So we're gonna use a Thotu Flame twice. And then, depending on how much damage we do... This is pretty much a kick. I should actually just be going for kicks here. But we only get 10 HP at most. So let's just go for a brace kick instead, because at least this character gets that guaranteed. Again, I could eat any of these ingredients as an emergency. Might as well if I'm going to lose the run. But we can gamble first. I mean, I would like to not lose 3 reason, but hey. And then, yeah, certain enemies also grant you things like Lump of Flesh. Basically, ingredients you need for this character's competition event. I'm just going to call it competition event for the moment. And yeah, when the actual turns are ticking down, you'll use the schedule, and then you'll get basically the number of turns left. So basically, after 2 more investigations, we can enter this event, if I survive that long, because 2 stamina for a reason. But, just to bug test again, 1 turn left. This is not, the English grammar, so that's me, but you get the point of how this character functions, essentially. And it's really interesting to see the ingredients, and you can also play a lot more with how these ingredients may function, but that's another story completely. We might have to just run here. I'm actually going to eat one of these. Hope I heal stamina. I did not. So, we're going to just, I think, run here. So, let me... my nose! Ah! Again, my OBS is not noise suppressed. It's noise suppressed differently for this. But since we have meat ingredients, although I did not take all the ingredients out, because we have funds, we can kind of substitute. Again, I didn't translate everything apparently, so whoopsie doopsie. But as long as basically the choices are translated correctly with the item names, then everything will work just fine. You might not be able to read everything, but it can work just fine. So yeah, we don't have wine, so I might have, unless beef stock, actually, I think it says, yeah, can be used instead of bottle of wine when cooking. So we can use that, and that should disappear for inventory. Our experience will increase as well, which also tells you on screen, and we can move on with life. However, I think we're just going to do research instead. Do I just want to... No, we just read the cookbook. So that's an extra... That was like 20 plus experience minimum, because the ingredients that you use, depending on what ingredient it is, also grants you bonus experience. However, we need to rest now, because otherwise we're going to die. So we're just going to get all our rest down. And if you want my, basically, gameplay review of the character overall, good for stamina and reason and quick level ups. However, I don't remember what exactly her whole perk packs were. But obviously, indirectly, I know it's not really fair to say at times, but Doom is not as great. Also, keep in mind here that we are about to fight a boss here, so let's find out. I think we want the stamina recovery, but we'll do our best. Piece of Heart is vampire enemies. I think we do our best. I think Lump of Flesh is more stamina healing. Yeah, it is. So we take all of the stamina out, and I think we just trade blows. That's all we can do. I mean, we can brace as well, but I don't even know if we can get a guaranteed attack or a good attack. We kind of can. -1 all for 2 damage, or again, it's mainly because the strong attack has 3 extra damage. So we get 6 damage guaranteed, which is better than brace for -1 all 2 damage, and then we possibly get a kick, so this is actually going to be better for us. I will probably just eat these while the turn is going on, because we're taking damage in the face, so yeah, off we go. However, this does mean that I need to look for another way to grab food at some point. I just realized my kind of mistake there. I think we still have a Thotu Flame, we do. So, we're probably going to Thotu Flame just to guarantee this, because I don't feel like gambling. So, yeah. I mean, Doom well spent. but like I said, this character... Well, actually, no, I just lied, because my own previous episode on this character is proof that she doesn't... Yeah, so she does have actually Doom Decrease. I wonder if I can run into it. I guess we'll find out. We do have 3 mysteries left, but let's find out. Because she does have innate 10 Doom Decrease on some of her events. In fact, we'll take Taxi now to kind of try. But I don't think we have much time to grab... I should have healed stamina there. Yeah, we might not have time. We have a lot of meat items as well. Time to enter the competition, especially with the amount of HP I've lost. But we'll try our best. Well, yeah, we'll do our best. So, I don't know if we can fight this, actually. That's a lot of HP to chew through. We do have lumps of flesh, but it's a lot of HP to chew through. We'll do our best, nonetheless. So, 20 power, we should be able to get like 60% accuracy. Okay, better. So, can I do 2 attacks? I think we just go for a strong to get 6. This is 6 damage. Again, the clam knife on a strong attack gets 3 extra bonus damage, which, again, thankfully, funny enough, is actually quite balanced. So, and her strength is quite high as well. So, allowing me to do brace strong attack is a very, very good breath of fresh air. Now, if I miss my strong attacks, that's another story. But, assuming you hit them, yeah, things turn out well. 1 serving of... Oh, that was because I was a vampire enemy, question mark. And this can be replaced for the corpse dust. So basically, there are base items in World of Horror that can be used for these cooking events. But you can... There are a lot of PERM items included with this character if you use the PERM version that allow you to substitute these things. Like, for example, a Piece of Heart also substitutes the Mummified Heart, which is a base World of Horror item. So, hey. There are other things I wanted to say, but I know I'm forgetting about them for the moment. So, as we just go crazy with a lot of PERM content, because keep in mind, Taxi has been modified by PERM as well. If you are using PERM, then, yeah, I think that's actually going to be better for the moment. Please tell me that we did not skip the... I need to start checking. Okay, 2 turns left. So, now my question is, can you run into the competition while you're stuck in the apartments or... in Recluse, or stuck in a car chase in Taxi? I guess we're gonna find out. But let's make sure we... Oh, we have to go through this first. I think we'll be fine. Are we gonna be fine here? Can I do 2 strong attacks? I can. So this actually could do 12 damage. Maybe I undervalue the clam knife. Again, I'm testing things out now. Except when I miss, then I get a little sad. But aside from when I miss... By the way, why did we lose reason instead? I'm going to do this and see what happens. Although, also we're missing left, right, and center, by the way. But, I think we just have to go for this again. We're missing 85, 75, by the way, which pretty much should be a coin flip and hitting both of them. But the game just doesn't want to. So, does this character randomly do reason damage? Well, anywho. So we got a lot of ingredients there. We also get the map, which I actually should just equip for the sake of Doom. But... after that, let's do this event. Now, I just realized we don't have a lot of reason, but we're just going to have to risk it. I know there's reason lost in very specific places in this cooking competition, afterward anyway. But we have a lot of meat. We should be able to use it. Yeah, use flesh. We get extra items because there are basically stages to the fresh chunks of flesh, I believe. If I'm wrong, well, sadness happens. Also, you get funds from cooking dishes. So, hey... I think here, yeah, awards 2 funds here, so we have 7 funds. I could actually grab a pack of cigarettes, but I don't think I can do anything else. Was it research or practice? I'm going to do practice. Okay, we don't have any of these, so we follow the cookbook, and we get Jacob's Golonka. The other one was pancakes, but we got the Golonka instead, so shrug. Yeah, actually, we can't eat this. Can I sell this, by the way? Yeah, actually, this character isn't bad. I think this... I was going to say this character... My initial... opinion before all of this was that even on Harbinger, this character is quite strong. I just thought that simply because the clam knife did 2 damage, even with the 3 damage strong damage increase, that she could have been a little below average. I still say she's better than Kyrie. That's kind of the... I'm going to use Kyrie as the, not threshold, but the thingy-majiggy. Anyway, we can grab 2 packs of cigarettes, by the way, which is not the healthiest thing to do in real life, but it will be great for nicotine rush buff, and I think we can actually sell these for funds as well. No, we can't. Okay, good. I was going to say, if you could sell those for just as much. Now, that being said, the long pig base World of Horror items do sell for funds here and there. Really? The taiyaki doesn't? Anywho. Long pig stick I know does. Okay, it does. And now we sit here. And then again, you can't really do the competition of the same mystery because you can only pretty much do it once per mystery, I believe. Again, I didn't take a good look at the ETO files. All I did was translate and just pray that everything worked. We also get another pack of cigarettes here. We don't need it, but hey. Now, that being said, I think we do have to run into the trees. We do have the handcuffs, right? We do. And if we have any other big healing, then I should equip those, but I don't think I do. So let's find out if we survive. It is actually still possible to survive this run. The problem is, we're taking a lot of damage anyway, so if it's not Doom later on, it's going to be Stamina or Reason for now. But again, if nothing else, I do think everyone should, who's interested in Perm should play this character as well, if she gets an English version, because again, only right now, the original Korean version of this character is public on Nexus Mod specifically, if I recall. So, shrug. But let's run into the trees. I did not grab the handcuffs, unfortunately. So I don't think there's any way to make this a lot easier on ourselves. Unfortunately, we don't have any. We did have the Athotu Flame spell at some point. Okay, I need to remember that as we fail a strength check because why do stats matter? But we'll do our best here. So if we get both strong attacks here, which we should, 10 power, right? No, in fact, we have the power of cigarettes as well. So hey, fun times. This is guaranteed, I think, because even if I don't get out in 2 turns, I should be able to brace and be fine. 10 experience, -1 luck, chunks of flesh, 2 to 3 stamina, but a chance to inflict a random curse, which in this case was Cursed Signs. But we don't need to worry about that because we can do Desperate, Strong, which should be, is this 8 damage? Well, hold on, how much is each one? I can't do math right now. Okay, 14 damage if we get 2 strong attacks. We get jumper cables because we left the driver behind, but we need the clam knife because this character wants ingredients, usually. That's at 50 experience. Was that right? Was that, anywho. Can you actually? I can't think right now. Anyway, moving on. Let's just move on. We have 2 mysteries left, by the way, and we are on our thingy-majiggy. Now, again, another gameplay aspect of this character that's really nuanced is that sailors or, say, ramen are definitely mysteries that this character excels in because she gets a lot of items. If you're using Perm, of course. I need to keep saying that. Now, but even if you're not using Perm, I think she gets other items through her non-Perm versions anyway, so all things considered, it's not bad, I think. Do you have to use that before you... Anyway, before you can actually start basically the timer on the cooking competition. But anyway, this is me just really going through, hey, strength, nope, 11, because why not? Well, so as we dance as this chef cooking club member dances in the dance club, we are taking 4 stamina damage, and we just need to just go all out because otherwise we're gonna die. So 90-90, and this is a 2-shot if everything works correctly. Can I throw these jumper cables, by the way? They do only do 1 damage. Okay, good to know. This is an Eldritch enemy, by the way, but if we don't miss both of these, we should be okay. Okay, good. Because like I was going to say, an Eldritch enemy can grant a lump of flesh if it isn't always guaranteed. I can't remember at the moment. Anyway, let's grab some more meat. Actually, champagne, I think. I don't remember what grilling is. I need to play this character. This character will get at least 3 episodes to her. I promise you there are some things to explore. I just need to remember what avenues I've already gone through. Bar, nope, luck means nothing. Luck still means nothing because we rolled very high and then we rolled very low. Also, should I put these police stations in the thingy by now? We have sailors next, but how many more enforced investigations do we have? Guess we're going to find out. So, as luck continues to mean nothing to me, although that was a fair one, let's enter this cooking contest. We need to, because our doom is really, 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 really low. Unfortunately, we run into this mushroom man first, so as we do club music next to this mushroom, this should be guaranteed, yeah. Again, for me, this character makes a lot more sense because I like buying the cigarettes for the nicotine rush buff, so shrug, right? She gets to be faster with the clam knife. This is power. Hey, a taro, a potato. Unfortunately, I don't remember everything for the potato recipe, but it does do 4 damage when thrown. However, we don't need it at the moment. I'll take the champagne with us, and then let's get into this cooking competition. I really don't remember where to go, though, so let's hope we make it out okay. This is experience to level up, at least. And I'll level up now because you can lose experience as well, but We're going to heal stamina, even though we have items to give us stamina at times. And I think we actually just stole a bunch of herbs instead, but it's fine. We have champagne. And we have 2 servings of it left, so we can keep drinking it. So how this champagne works specifically is, I think, if it's not probable chance to get the first part of the negative experience here, when you have the first negative effect, upon drinking a second time, you will get hangover, which is not really great. But let's gather ingredients, and I think, is it shopping or part-time work? Let's go shopping. So, yeah, human skull, holy candle. So yeah, you can get both of these items right here. Granted, aside from maybe holy candles, human skull is, I think, I translated it and it said otherworldly location. I don't remember which. I should have just put the name down, but I didn't remember the location's name. So, help. But basically, you can grab some pretty cool items from her competition event. So again, I do think she's a stronger character than average. Yeah, that's all I have to say at the moment. So, as we let this explode in the background, and we get pew! Let's go into our last mystery with about 89% doom left. I don't think we can survive this run, but I did that to myself because I did not know how strong attacks really were. I mean, I knew they were pretty good. 6 damage guaranteed pretty much every turn minimum is very, very good. But I didn't know that with cigarette nicotine rush buff and some strength, we get 2 fast, strong attacks. Keep in mind, this clam knife is a strength weapon as well, so that only helps more. And I need to repeat that in a more general sense. If you give a weapon strength in this version of World of Horror, strength is a very powerful stat. Shrug. Not saying the other stats are terribly bad. If you run like 11 dexterity steak knife and you get nicotine rush buff or any other speed increase, you'll be doing very, very, very well in my opinion. We're actually going to drink this really quickly. But let's also toss it because... Actually, did I enter the competition, by the way? Don't think we have time to. Oh, we did. Well, I wasn't prepared. So instead what we're going to do is we're still going to grill. I think we just take this damage in the face here. So oops, oops, and oops. And then we use champagne. And now we have an empty bottle that we can throw at least. But was it cooking research? I thought you needed a thing. I think we have the holy candle, right? Nope, Mr. Yakitori or Golonka. Which, by the way, note that you can get the Golonka here. So you can grab the Golonka and use it here. Unfortunately, I don't remember exactly where I need to go to try and decrease doom. So, shrug, we'll just move on. Yeah, that was extra doom. We have to monument now. Hopefully lose reason. We do. And do I want to take another risk here? We probably can, considering we have basically stamina in our inventory. We have no more vampire enemies. Might as well eat these actually, because we don't need them anymore. So that counts as throwing an item away. Is that base World of Horror bug or is that a PERM bug? I don't know, but we will carry that torch with us. It's not like we need these again, so I'm basically just eating all of our ingredients so we can heal at the end of the run, which again I think is very powerful. We get hunger for this, but no one cares. So torch, handcuffs as well. I should probably take, yeah, I think I take the handcuffs instead. Actually, we eat the piece of heart first. This is assumably a vampire. Oh no, wait, that's right. We use that against vampire enemies. Never mind, I lied. But yeah, we definitely take the handcuffs and off we go. Because apparently we're on timeline B, and I didn't know that. That being said, we just ran into an enemy here, so here's hoping. Yeah, here's hoping. I think this is guaranteed, actually. We don't need to hope here, but we do take 3 reason damage for this, but we'll still have enough for the lighthouse. So I'm shrugging in real life as I say, yeah, this I did turn my brain off here. I was autopiloting, so yeah, pretty cool. Grab an ally just in case. Nope, we get nothing, and let's burn this boss. That buffered my click, so I don't know if you heard that as we get time skip, so I guess we just lose the run. But also, this character is at level 6.5-ish at the end of the run. That's pretty good. That being said, yeah, I think it's because I ran from an enemy and then wasted doom somewhere else. But without further ado, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Otherwise, I'm not going to take up much more of your time. We'll actually cut out this time out of existence.